Cheers to
Salud.
This is Life. You know, we want to help people helping people. We are all here together. Why not be successful? Why not help each other? Why not be something? And there doesn't have to be so much picking and hating and judging. And this is a free judge zone. I don't judge anybody, and you always welcome in here. So
I judge people all the time.
Well, you know what, dude? Cheers to good friends, great energy, and a live chat room in this podcast. Hey, yo, this is life. Thank you, everyone. Newcomers, oldcomers, friends, family. We love you all. Shout the fuck out. If you're afraid to talk to me or if I am too aggressive for you, go fuck yourself. But if you're not and you're interested in talking, you know, please pick up the phone, holler at me. My own experiences, I left at 16. I moved out when I was 16 years old, people. I had 3 jobs, my own apartment, and I had a baby, and I had things to deal with. My husband will tell you, I am a fighter, I am a strong person, and I am JESS. There's nothing less, and he is Rocky, and he never gives me anything less, and that's what's so important. You know, I am so damn blessed to have you as my partner in crime.
Always, baby.
We don't need friends, you know why?
Because
we have each other. Cheers on that.
Cheers on
So,
Get the fuck out of here.
you're bugging. Well, I guess.
Can't even take that. It is Tuesday night. Second show coming in, Super Ugly Show. The actually Super Ugly Show was really, really good tonight. And now you're tuning in here to This Is Life. I'm here with the amazing co-host and my husband, Rocky, from the Super Ugly Show.
Hello, hello, hello.
We are missing Nicole tonight, and we don't have any special guests because we felt it was a need for an intimate show tonight.
So feel free to call up, people.
Yeah, we're taking in calls for serious tonight.
For real, yo.
So this is for the real thing, in case you didn't know.
Play for keeps.
You can't triple stamp and double stamp.
I play for keeps.
We have a lot of funny things and serious things, actually, that we have to talk about. I'm going to start with something that's going to really blow your mind. I mean, this is actually probably one of the best things I've ever heard, revenge-wise, revenge story, people, that really, it blew my mind that this girl had the balls to go through with it. So anyway, a bride and groom are about to get married. It's about 2 days before their wedding, right? And he leaves his phone somewhere, and she kind of just picks it up. Nothing really was on it, but he kind of grabbed it quick from her, and she's like, why would he grab that? So she goes to the computer. Now, when you have iPhones or Verizon, stuff like that, they save your texts, right? So she's now reading a very long time relationship between her husband in a few days and another woman. Very detailed, explicit fucking text messages. And she's like furious, okay? But she's like, I'm about to get married, you know?
I know iPhones. It literally will like pop up. Remember Jessica? That's how she caught Anthony. My cousin caught her ex-husband out there like that.
Yeah, but you know, so she's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But after you know, thinking about it a lot, she says, you know what? I am going to stick it out, and I'm gonna get married. But she had something in store for him that you're not even gonna believe. This is my chick right here. Okay, so they do everything. She's smiling. She says nothing. Pictures, all that stuff. They get to the church. They're about to read their vows. And he read his vows first.
She read the texts.
She read every single message. I mean, in detail. She read these messages in front of everyone. Did he stand there
during all this?
He started to cry. He cried at the altar and begged her for forgiveness immediately. And everybody in this church was kind of like, are you kidding me? At their wedding. But you know what? I feel, well, I never would have went through with it. It would have been embarrassing to me. However, I look at her and I go, fucking game on. That is so, it's enough when someone cheats on you, but it's right before your wedding and he's texting her like, I can't wait for get back from my honeymoon and see you. Like, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Why even get married at that point?
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking? So I say, gung-ho, I fucking give her a high five.
I do and I don't. Like, to make a spectacle out of it, like, That's kind of weird to me. Like, not only is your whole family there, his whole family's there. Like, that's just a real shitty thing to do. I get it. Like, hey, go you. You know, that was great revenge. But it's a little much, if you ask me.
I think it might be a little bit much. However, you don't think that he deserved to be put into that position? Like, you know.
Not in front of literally everyone they know and love.
You know what? I think that he needs to be made a fool.
It's not all their business, though. This is between me and you, and now you've dragged my mother into this, and your mother, and your aunts, and your cousins, and friends from work, and...
I guess I didn't think about that.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I guess that would be kind of sucky to do. However, though, like, what about...
him cheating is absolutely a piece of shit, sucky thing to do a million times more than that.
Right.
But... there's ways to handle these things, and you know, this sounds to me like she just wanted to get on the internet and people go, "Oh, look at this girl," without even thinking about like the real situation of it.
Yeah, I agree. They definitely probably weren't thinking about she probably, you know, at that moment, she probably wasn't thinking about anything besides fuck him.
That's premeditated.
I hate him.
That's premeditated. If she killed him, she'd be charged for absolute murder.
That's if she killed him. She didn't kill him though.
But
she
that's
read
what I
his
mean.
messages.
Yeah, she planned this. She plotted this. She had everything printed out. She knew when she was going to do it. Like, she had a lot of time to think about this.
And you don't think that she had right to? I mean, I think I'd be pretty fucking crazy myself.
Yeah, anyone would be, but again, that reaction is that's unstable. That's unstable.
Well, but I get that would be unstable. But how would you? I mean, feel you're about to get married, so now you cancel the wedding. Just say I'm canceling the wedding to everybody because he cheated, but I shouldn't fucking embarrass him in front of his family. I shouldn't make him feel like big as he made me feel.
I think you calling the wedding off is enough embarrassment in itself.
All right. I guess that is pretty embarrassing.
Because now everybody goes, gee, why is the wedding not happening? Oh, because he cheated and she dumped him. Oh, okay.
All right.
Everyone's still going to find out.
They are going to find out.
But, you know.
Maybe it was satisfying to her to get that out there.
Yeah, well, you know.
You know, maybe it was...
people find punching people in the face satisfying. Doesn't mean you should do it.
Yeah, right. But, you know, again, you're talking about hitting somebody or emotionally having damage and someone deserving...
I think what she did to this man is just, if not more devastating than taking a punch.
Really?
Oh, to be embarrassed like that in front of everybody you know and love? Yeah. Yeah. I would rather get punched in the face than have that embarrassment in front of literally everybody I know and love.
You don't think he should have thought about that, though, before he fucking did what he did to her? Like, this would be
Of course he should have. Of course he should have.
I mean...
You know, I'm not saying what he did was right. I'm not justifying him. I'm just saying her seems a little much. It's over the top. It's borderline sociopath behavior.
All right. I mean, I guess it could be that.
That's the
I
way
don't know. I
look
just
at
feel
it.
like, I guess, I mean, I would have to be in the situation to make that kind of decision. Like, what would I do if I was treated like that? I don't know. I probably would not stay, and I definitely would not want to be embarrassed in front of my
Now,
whole
did
family.
did they get married?
Obviously not. No, definitely not.
All right. Well, I don't know. You said he was like begging her back and
He
shit.
was saying, yeah, of course, he felt like such a piece of shit in front of everybody. He's like, I'm so sorry, you know, please forgive me, and blah, blah, blah. And she read it and looked at him, just, I guess, basically with just disgust, walked out and was done.
Yeah.
And that was the end of that. You know, again, I feel like people not in that situation, you really can't make that judgment. I don't know if I'd put that much effort into actually embarrassing him now that I'm thinking about it. I'm one of those that I just leave.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess, you know.
I don't know. I think it was a shitty move. All right. I thought of this today. You dream at night, right? And
Yes.
it's like movies you're seeing, right? These fucked up movies, right?
I do, yeah.
Now, there's a thing called daydreaming.
Right.
Now, let's say you were able to control dreams. Like, you can turn them on. Boom. Now I got like a TV in front of me. You know what I mean? But now my vision just went from to dreams.
You have my attention.
What is the first thing you would do if you were in dreamland and you were able to control it and turn it on, and now you're in this, just like you'd be in a dream when you're sleeping, but you're 100% conscious?
What would I do? Oh God, that's a big one to think about. Honestly, I think I would want to be able to travel, fly around and just see everything.
You're not thinking this, and that's the wrong answer for
What?
you.
Why? What? Go.
You could see dead relatives in dreams.
Oh yeah.
Okay? Yeah, dad. Boom.
Hi.
Done.
Yeah.
Not even like, you know, I know you weren't going there because why would you? You know what I mean?
Right.
But
No, you're making
all right. So
total
after
sense.
that, though, after that, because everyone's going to do the dead relative thing. So I weeded out the obvious choice on that situation.
Yeah.
Now, after that, what would you do? You said fly?
I would fly. I would fly all over the world and just see. I'd be up it so high. I mean, you really couldn't. Nobody would even know, but you would just be able to explore.
Now, here's my other thing. Now, dreams are taken from memories and things we've seen probably on television or a poster walking by in the city or, you know what I mean? It's all bits and pieces.
Also, the things that I've never really experienced before, you don't remember in this lifetime actually doing.
Well, that's, you know, that's hearsay. We can't submit that as fact in this scenario.
Well, you don't feel like there's other lives before.
There very well could
I'm
be,
just saying, I'm
but
just asking. I'm not saying. I'm not.
I'm
picking.
saying that there could be, and honestly, I hope there is. So, you know, I'm not fully dead, and I wake up as a little baby, and I live a whole nother life, and that's that. But so dreams are compiled that way.
Right.
So if you were consciously dreaming, wouldn't there be gaps? Like if you were flying over the ocean, or like I know it would all be water, but like you don't know geography. So when you hit land, you get what I'm saying? So like say you wanted to go to, I don't know, fucking France.
Right.
Okay. Now that's surrounded by land.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's not like you would be like, well, France is right here. Let me stop and check out France.
No, yeah, well, no, when you're flying over, obviously maybe, okay, all right. So now let me think about my dream again. Maybe I would actually be a Superman, that I know where everything is, and I can fly.
Yeah.
You know, so maybe in my dreams I have the ability to fly places, know where I'm going, and then also fly.
Now, Superman basically went off of hearing. Like, it's not like he knew locations. He was that good at hearing that he can hear people crying from miles and miles away or whatever.
People that need it, he felt it.
Yeah, no, he hears it.
He heard it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh, so
hears
he's
it.
like a dog.
Yeah, times a zillion.
Right, no, I'm saying, but he's got hearing like, okay.
But
Times a zillion. Dogs are a zillion times better.
now, say you could do this, though. For one, it would be completely fucking awesome. But there would be weird gaps, and like I guess your interpretation of what you think things are. You know what I mean?
Right. It would be different for everyone.
Yeah, like I've never
It's
been to
in your
Los
dream.
Angeles, but I've seen plenty of videos and pictures, and
Right.
for me to, you know, build a Los Angeles in my head.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That would be pretty fucking dope, though. If you could just, and boom, and now I'm dreaming like I am when I'm sleeping, but complete control of it and all that
I would
shit.
be also, it would kind of be like how they make virtual reality.
Yeah.
You know, where you can like control this, whatever.
People
yeah, I think
would,
that-
if everyone had that ability, no one would get anything done. Because daydreaming, forget it. Like, you just kind of doze off for a minute and you're like, wow, what was that?
Right.
If you had the
Imagine if you were like,
capability
I
to,
need a minute to daydream.
yeah, throw on a dream.
You just shut down. You're like, give me a second. Excuse me.
And here's the thing, and I guarantee, like, not even 99%, 100% of men, the first thing they would do,
Is go fuck a porn star.
or whoever,
Whoever they wanna fuck in
yep,
their dreams.
I guarantee
That would be kind of awkward, but you know what? Then you could go fuck anybody you want.
anybody you wanted to. Anybody you wanted to.
In your dream. This is a dream.
Yeah.
I don't know. If
And now you have wet dreams, too. So let's say you're doing that, you know.
and you're in front of people, you just get
Yeah,
all,
and you're just fucking blowing loads and just having a day of it.
get the fuck out of here. Could you imagine standing in the store and you see a guy just get like soaking wet? You're like, what happened, bro?
All of a sudden, he's just standing at the
But he's-
counter and he's just,
He like looks at you and he's like, thank you. What?
yeah.
What?
You'd have so many creepy men out there.
I don't even know what I
That's
would
a great
do.
point because you would have so many creepy men out there just walking up to chicks and staring at them.
And then closing their eyes for a second
Yeah, not even, yeah,
and just going into that dream.
yeah.
Could you? I don't know if I'd be.
I
able
don't think you would need to be a creep, though, about it because you could just look at somebody, go, boom, got you. And then,
And then keep it moving. Think about it in the car, like.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Oh, that's like crazy. That's actually a really interesting thing to think about.
and then people would probably stop having a lot less sex.
You know, they probably would because they would fantasize so much. Be like, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I can have sex with anyone I want here.
Yes.
Anybody.
And then people would just marry anyone.
Yeah.
They'd marry whatever would be safe
That'd
financially.
be fucked up, but that's like a power someone should have, and like they should work it in a way where it is like makes sense because it's not a power really. It's just cool for you.
Right.
But there should be like an X-Men power where the person can dream, but
I think that's really cool. And actually, I never thought about that. Or somebody check this out. Next X-Men to come out, somebody who can daydream like that, create a dream, change the past, and then come back and be like, I fixed it.
Yeah, like
I
time
fixed
traveling.
It. Done. It's done. I went back there. I fixed it.
Dreaming time traveling.
And instead of what
I think someone's done that. I feel like that's been done. I don't know if it has 100%, but I feel like it's been done.
People have said it's been done, or it's been done,
or
that storyline.
That storyline. Like, I feel like the dreaming, changing the past and future thing has happened before.
If it hasn't, and somebody thinks of it, I was the one that said it first.
I mean, Avatar is kind of like that, right?
I guess so, yeah, because
No, because you're just becoming another entity.
World.
Yeah.
It's like another world, more or less, another species.
That would be wild, though.
I would think I would be totally cool with
And
that.
just be like, dude, I want to play one-on-one basketball with Michael Jordan. Boom, there I am, doing it.
Fucking imagine.
Like, that would
And then,
just be so dope.
Do you know how safe it would be for a lot of stars, though, to even meet people? And
Yeah.
it's all in their dreams. They're just hanging out, but they're not hanging out.
There would be a lot less aggression, I think, in people sexually.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of it would help sexually, but that triggers and trickles down to a bunch of other things.
Yeah,
Sexually
right.
frustrated people, are angry or fucking anxious or,
On edge, yeah.
there's a million things they could be.
Right.
So if they have the ability to go, I wish I could just be with a hot chick, and then they go, hot chick, bang, done. I was with her. That was amazing. That was amazing.
Now I can move on to the next
Yeah.
plateau. It might even help people with their confidence. It would help
It
people a lot.
could.
However, now check this other angle. It also can create a lot of discomfort for some women. Like, let me know. Like, I walk out and people are like, you know how many times I daydreamed about you? You'd be like, oh, like it would kind of be a little bit like invading me.
Absolutely.
So it'd be like
But
invasion.
don't act like women wouldn't be doing it to men either, though. It would have just be men doing this. I'm saying the first thing men would do is that women would get to it eventually.
I mean, they might.
They just wouldn't get. It wouldn't be the first thing. Women would go with the dead relative route, where men.
That, or I'd be like, for the day, I want to be a fucking trillionaire. Like, let me just be a trillionaire for a little while. Give me some money to play with.
Yeah, vacation.
I just go out.
I'm on vacation. I'm I'm in Aruba on a beach, my own private island with butler service.
Right. Yeah, that's something I would probably think of. I don't necessarily go right to sex. I mean, I don't know if it's because of my age or because.
No, again, that's men. And I guarantee, if any man out in that chat says they wouldn't, the first thing they would think of is a girl to fuck.
Aladdin wasted wish.
It's like Aladdin.
Who would waste a wish on a dream girl? No, it's not your only wish. It's you. Can
It's not a
do this all
wish.
the time.
No, this is a dream. Like, if you can dream
every
consciously,
time, all the time.
yeah, you're.
It's like you never lose it.
Yeah, you have the ability to turn your dreams on, be completely conscious, and complete in control of your dreams.
Yeah, it's not like a wish thing. This is what it is. You just have this control over your mind, where you can powerfully say, "This is what I'm doing," and your spirit.
Like
is
when you
living
dream
it.
when you're sleeping, you could do that awake and conscious and controlling it.
Being in
So
the moment.
yeah, you can kind of put yourself in any scenario.
There would be so many like people out there that are not getting it. Like,
I'd put myself in horror movies and see if I can escape them. That would be dope.
I would not.
So
That would
dope.
be so fucking creepy.
No, because again,
knowing
once
you're not gonna die.
it's like game over. You know what I mean? It's like game over. Whatever.
Start over, new life.
Yeah, try again next time.
I guess that would be kind of cool. I don't know if I would necessarily go into a scary movie. I might go into like a mystery.
Because it is, like you said, it's basically virtual reality, but what I'm taking it
But
to the
life
10th degree.
right.
Yeah, like it's your dreams now. It's not, a headset and all this other shit.
And honestly, like the way that the world is working right now, I wouldn't be too surprised if they came up with a game or virtual reality.
Cat.
Wow, it's Bella. I'm like, what is
It's
moving
Cat.
my chair? I thought it was one of the kids. What, Bella? I'm not picking you up. Again, it would be like a thing where you could just, I would be really interested in trying that. Maybe we need to expand our minds a little bit.
That would be incredible to have the ability to do that.
That's what I was saying. They might come out with like a virtual reality face mask that you can actually just put it on and then daydream and do that. That would be fucking
Well,
dope.
that's virtual reality. It is, to a sense.
But there's only games. It's not like you could actually put it on and visualize or put
Oh,
yourself in
and
a-
create like Ready
Right.
Player One type
Right,
shit.
exactly.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that'd be kind of cool.
But Ready Player One, were they able to create their own surroundings, or were they just able to go to the surroundings that were in the game that they were in?
I'm not sure.
I think it was pre-built surroundings. I don't think they were able to manipulate the world around them unless they had like the power. Didn't one kid have powers to do shit? I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't really remember.
It was a good movie. I just don't remember it that well.
Yeah.
But I brought this up very briefly on our show.
Bring it up.
And this is more for the ladies, this show. So
Bring it up.
this.
What?
Who,
selfies.
Who do girls think they're fooling with this still?
You know what it is? Again, there's a lot of filters, there's a lot of angles, a lot of things you could do to change.
Take
what
away
you look
all the
like.
filters, take away everything. But this.
The way they hold the phone.
Once you do this, you know what you're telling everybody so you can see.
It's a selfie. You're holding your
You're
phone.
holding it out up at an angle.
Up and away from yourself.
You're telling everybody I have zero confidence in what I really look like, so I'm going to manipulate the camera angle to make it look like I look better than I really am.
Listen, with everything now in society, it is an image. Everybody wants to look like a certain girl. Everybody wants to have a certain feature.
And here's this, sorry to cut you off, but I just want to preface
okay,
this.
go ahead.
I want to add this to it, that it's not the girl who has those pictures but also has normal pictures everywhere. It's the girl who only
has
has
selfies.
pictures from awkward angles and shit like that.
Bella, I can't.
Like, you look at that, and again, if I was a single guy, I would look at that and immediate red flag.
Right.
Immediate red flag. Why is your fucking camera angle all fucked up?
Right.
Like, why didn't you take a straight-on shot? That tells me right there something ain't right here.
No, you're right. It definitely does. And again, when people hide what they are or who they are through filters and image or way that they take pictures, eventually someone is going to see what you look like anyway. And I mean, you should be confident in who you are.
Like, you'll get a lot of this shit. Ready?
What?
A busty girl
Right.
who's big, though.
Right.
Okay?
Come here.
She'll do this shit where she puts her titties out, turns a little bit,
Lay down.
turns a little bit to one side so it kind of covers up the
Right.
bigness.
Oh, yes.
Comes up on the angle, and now all the guy sees is maybe a
Boobs.
pretty face
Right.
and a set of big titties.
Right. It's false advertisement.
That is not what you're selling, though, baby. I'm sorry,
Right.
and you know that.
Right.
Like, you know that you need to also say, hey, I weigh 350 pounds.
Right.
Like, but when it's constantly this, like, do they really think the guy's not going to be like, hey, send me a body picture or
down.
something, or ask you about it, or like eventually the truth's going to come out.
Yeah, I guess, again, back to what the images need to be. Everybody has to look a certain way. So they feel like, well, if I look like this, then someone's going to want to meet me, and then they'll get to know me without,
Want to meet you all false pretenses.
yes, it is false pretenses. At the same time, I feel like that's how people now feel that's the only way they can meet is through what they want to show on the internet.
See, like, I never really did the internet thing. I would typically meet chicks out.
Right.
So I don't understand that world and how, like, I get it. Like, I totally get the easiness, the accessibility. It's fucking, if I was single, it'd be a great fucking thing.
Right.
But there's all these now things that still go on to this day that you look at and you go, well, I know you're full of shit, though. Now, you're already a liar.
Right.
Because you're doing this deceptive bullshit with angles and filters
Right.
and lighting and all this other horse shit. But B, when we meet up, now you're putting me in the awkward position of going, fuck.
Right. This is not what I came for.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, really?
No, that's what the whole show Catfish is about, where all these people meet each other or they lie to each other for a certain amount of time because they're afraid to meet of who they are. This is, again, now this is going to roll right into the next subject that I want to talk about here. We all have this image like, I'm supposed to be skinny. I'm supposed to be this. I'm supposed to have a big butt. I'm supposed to have big boobs, a small waist, or I'm supposed to have all this makeup, or my face should look like a fucking parrot. I don't know. But this is the image that people think they should have. And when they don't have it or they don't meet the criteria, there is depression and anxiety and non-acceptance and jealousy and insecurity. All these things come from what you think is the image of what you think is supposed to look like. But in reality, you really should break your own mold and be yourself.
Now, yes, and it would be great if the world worked that way, but it doesn't.
Right.
And especially for women. Me and Richie were just talking about this, and I'm going to get to that, but I want to say this first. Now, for men, when we're younger, what we do and how we look is what we think a woman will be attracted to.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Like, what I'm wearing, how my hair is, everything about me, it internally is going,
That's going to get attention.
no. Is this what a woman finds attractive?
Oh, right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right, yes.
Now,
yes.
if you're fucked up looking, I'm sorry, there's nothing you can do about that. There's nothing, no haircut or clothes can do. be funny. That's all I can tell you. If you're ugly, be funny.
Be funny.
Because funny dudes, chicks love funny dudes. For real. But so you just go, all right, well, this is the attire that I think, a girl will look at and go, I like the way he dresses. I like the way he looks. I want to talk to him.
Right.
That's pretty much how guys, every time non-work, you go out, that's how you would think, until you get married and stuff. And now it's just, hey, babe, do I look good in this?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Perfect. Yeah.
Do girls at a younger age think that way as well?
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, I started having a self-image and started thinking about myself. I think it was about 12
No,
or
but
13.
not about yourself, about like that thought of, I'm going to dress like this because I
boys
think
will like it.
this is what the
Absolutely.
opposite sex is going to find good.
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, again, you look at society today. I mean, our oldest daughter, she graduated a year and a half ago. But when I was bringing her to her prom, I'm watching now prom, if you remember going back in the day all the way up until like the 90s, maybe the beginning of 2000s, it was still timid. Prom wasn't about how short your skirt was. It wasn't about, is it a midriff? It wasn't about that. It was about the dance. People were into the dance of it.
I don't know what prom you went to. It was about the after party for my shit.
Sure. But after the years, girls have gotten more and more like, well, if I wear this short dress, he's going to like it. And all the guys are going to like it. If I wear this much makeup, before I put extensions in everything is an image of what they think someone else is going to want. But I have found, and coming from a girl who was heavy when I was younger, I had acne when I was younger, it's not about what you're looking like, because I had the personality that, I could have had anybody I wanted. I still can. It's more about who you are inside and how you treat people.
I agree. But let me ask you this, because I think a lot of it is conditioning. Because let's say, starting from the beginning of, like, I don't know, like Playboys or whatever, you know what I mean? Like that type of advertising,
Right.
sex sells type stuff.
Yeah.
Let's say instead of skinny women, back then they decided this is what's attractive.
Right.
Bigger girls. And from now until then, it's always just been,
it was
wait,
never
hold on.
small girls.
It became smaller girls. But
Right.
I mean, Marilyn Monroe was considered big in our day, but she's really not big.
Well, she was, she was bigger than
but,
me.
No, I mean like heavy girls.
Right.
Right. So let's say that was like the norm.
Right.
Do you think men would then be like,
that's what I want?
that
Absolutely.
big girls are big, and you skinny girls, like, you're gross.
Yeah,
Why are
get
you so
some weight on
skinny?
it.
Yeah.
Yes, I think absolutely it is, again, where you're coming from and what you're seeing as you grow up.
But
Your
that's
vision.
not just growing up. That was just, I don't know if it ever was attractive, where like if the roles were reversed, where bigger women maybe sometime in the 1100s.
Well, no, but there are some men now that actually
that are
have
into bigger women. Yeah.
Again, everybody has their own preference of what they're interested in and sexually, but they're starting to do like bigger women lingerie magazines. They're starting to do more of those photo shoots because, again, the accept me kind of thing is going around. But then it should have been, it doesn't matter what your body, again, a beautiful woman isn't just her body.
All right, now here's the problem with that.
Go.
And again, I'm all for, bigger women doing photo shoots and stuff like that. But men are assholes. Men will always be assholes. You now have to know, being a bigger woman, that there are going to be men that go, ugh, look at this gross fat pig. And very publicly, and do
Well,
it with
that's
no shame. But hold up. So when it happens, yes, you can be like, that's shitty and, fucked up. But you also have to accept the fact that that's never going to change.
Well, when you're in the eye of everybody, I mean, obviously you have to take the good with the bad. There's going to be people who say shit. I mean, there are people who say things about me that live across the world that don't even know me.
Yeah.
There's people who say wonderful things across the world that don't know me. But it's, again, everybody's own opinion. It's how they feel. It's what they think they want to say. Like, you can judge someone by what they look like or how they speak, but you actually have no idea, who that person is, where they come from, what they do.
No.
I am an advocate for that because you would know me as when I was younger. You would have never looked at me younger and been like, wow, she's a beautiful girl. But now you look at me and go, wow, she's a beautiful girl, and I love who she is as a person. But you didn't know me as a person because you didn't get past that as a younger kid. You didn't look at me and go, oh, I want to know her. We were just friends in passing, and that's just what it was.
Goes back to my other theory.
Go, what's your other theory?
Where, not to put you down at all, but you just weren't my type back then. And that's
You weren't mine either.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's my whole point is you could be the coolest chick in the world. You know what I mean? I don't even want to find out.
Right.
I don't want to find out.
Well, that's because you were very shallow.
No, that's most people though. That's most
It's
people.
not, I don't care if it's most people,
and just
it's a
because
shallow way to
yes,
think.
but again, I would have to say very confidently 95% of the people think that way instinctually. You know what I mean? Like instinctually
course.
because the laws of sexual attraction.
Yes, it has
So-
to be an attraction there with somebody. I'm
Yeah.
not saying you should be attracted to everyone because they're be nice. I'm saying, yeah, you have an attraction to certain type of people. However, your attraction is physical first.
I know. No, and that's almost every man's when it comes to men and women.
Mm-hmm.
That's almost every man's.
I would
thing.
look too. Yeah, I look at
Like-
looks too, but that wasn't what made me fall for you.
Yeah, of course, because women fall in love on a different level.
Right.
Like women fall in love like here.
Right.
Men fall in love here, and then fall in love here.
Mm-hmm.
But the falling in love here never goes away,
Of course.
unless you really let yourself go and shit. But clearly my wife hasn't, so it never goes away. But the love here that women have is very different from how men have it.
I agree. There is a different feeling and there's a different dynamic when it comes to women and men emotionally.
Because women can love, like, if I got like 50 more pounds on me, I don't see you being like, I'm out just
No,
because
I
you're
would
fat
not.
now.
No, I wouldn't.
Of course, men might not leave the bitch, but he's going to fuck another girl. A woman loves a man differently that they wouldn't do that. Like, now I'm not saying every man would do that,
Yeah.
but a lot of them probably would. Given the opportunity, a lot of them probably would.
I know, but that's the sad part about it. You know, like, again, when you're deciding to be with someone for the rest of your... Bella, I'm not picking you back up.
Well, because, again, men love differently, and men see relationships and love differently than women do.
No, but listen here, okay? So when you're about to be in a relationship with somebody, they always say, like, look at their family, look at their mother. That's probably what they'll look like. Now, a lot of people look at that and go, yeah, not my wife. Or, yeah, my wife will look kind of like that. Oh, yeah, my wife's going to be perfect. But sometimes after children and after a lot of things that go on in their lives, it's not as easy for everyone to be as thin as I am. I'm this thin because I'm disciplined with how I eat, vitamins I take, water I drink, how active I am. I'm constantly keeping on myself. 3 kids, I wear a size 2. And I do it because this is what I love. I love taking care of my body, but also I love being sexy for you. Sometimes in relationships, women lose that I want to be sexy because they're so busy being a mom. They're so busy being a wife that they forget that the husband also needs that visual attention. It has to be a visual thing. And the same goes for women. I could go on for days about how many people I've wasted my time on that I was never really attracted to, but I felt like we had a connection somewhere else. I gave them a chance. It was just a waste of time.
I see it with our daughter. She's starting to date now, right?
Yeah.
Now, her last 2 boyfriends, I look at and go, this is not her type.
No.
Like, I don't even know why she's dating them. But she gave it a shot and saw what happened. A man wouldn't... I can, again, confidently say most men are not going to date someone they're not attracted to at all. Just to see, maybe this will work out.
Yeah, there's got to be, I guess, an initial attraction of something that makes you want to be with
But
that
women
woman.
can do that. That's what I'm saying.
But also, though, there are some men who will just hook up with anybody because they don't have a standard. Or there's women that will hook up with you because they don't have something that they need.
Sex and dating is two very different things. Just fucking a girl is very different than I want to get to know you.
I guess so. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, of course.
And a lot of I was never that guy to like just be like, yeah, I'll just do it just to do it. Like there had to be an attraction there. A lot of my friends, on the other hand, were those guys that were like, I don't give a fuck, I'll fucking,
Head is head,
yeah,
pussy's
whatever,
pussy.
I'm gonna get laid, whatever,
Right.
And I would look at that and be like, it doesn't comprehend in my head because sex and attraction goes together.
Right.
Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be like, ugh, I don't like the way you look, but I'm still gonna fuck you, like, because now, like, when I'm fucking you, I'm not gonna get a hard on for one because I'm looking at you and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yeah, but you know what though? All right, so coming from my point of view, we all know that I have dated women in my life, and for a long time in my life. Excuse me. However, I never dated women where I was like, wow, she's really hot. Actually, everyone that I've dated, my family was like, why? Not because they were like, you're too good, but they would look and be like, Jess, like, that's just definitely not, she's not hot enough for you. Like, but I didn't look at them like that. There was something else about them that I was
Lipstick
interested
lesbians. This is what the worst part is. Like, she used to date chicks, but all like the things I could fantasize about is all these ugly bitches she was with. So I'm
They
like,
weren't
ugh.
ugly. They were just very. They were not ugly.
No,
they were
but you
just
know,
very
when guys think
plain.
lesbians, they want
I
two.
didn't like makeup.
They
I
want two of
wasn't-
yous.
Right.
You know, going
I know,
at it.
Sure,
you know.
Sure, of course. However, that's not what I was. I mean, if I wanted to date a woman, I needed a more of a male woman. I didn't want to be with a girl that was like me. And I'm not really very makeup-y either, but I couldn't stand that. However, being with any of them, again, I didn't look at them and go, ugh. I looked at them and I was like, wow, she is a really amazing friend. Wow, this one's really awesome at sports. I'm interested in watching. Wow, this one cooks very well. It was always something about them that had my interest. It was never like, ooh, I can't wait to take them home.
All right, and the way you're thinking is kind of how a man thinks, and I'm going to break it down very simply and use a Patrice O'Neill thing. Okay? Most men, now I'm not like this, and I'm not saying that because my wife's here. I actually do enjoy spending time with my wife and really don't want to not spend time with her and spend time with other people without her. That's just...
We only have a lot of same with friends.
Yeah,
so.
but Patrice made a great point, and this is most men I know. You know, you're at a party, standing like a cipher, smoking a blunt, and all your boys are there. It's just you and the guys, and you go, this party's good, but you know what would make this better? If my girl was here. No guy ever says that because most guys are like, I'm free.
Right.
I'm free right now.
Well, they don't hang. Yeah, right.
Again, like
There's not that hangout
and I
vibe.
know the people are gonna be like, "What a pussy!" He's only saying that. No, I don't like people. I found the person I like, and
Well, this is.
I chose to be with her for the rest of my life because
You want to spend time.
yes, and I the time we spent when we first started dating was literally on top of each other, not sexually, which
Every
it was,
day,
but
every
I mean,
day.
it was a hotel room or in her bedroom at her mother's house,
Cuddling.
literally on a bed on top of each other. And that was
laying.
it.
It was very big for you.
So all the time, you know, after a while, you start going, all right, I can be around this person all the time, and it doesn't bother me. Now,
Right.
of course, every now and then you get annoyed with them. You're like, you're annoying.
Yeah.
But it's very far in between as far as
Far
that
in
goes.
between.
But so most guys, though, they're not like that.
Well, they don't marry their friend.
They go, okay.
Bella.
A lot of guys settle because A, time's running out. B, they get caught up in a relationship that they weren't really intending it to turn into a relationship. Then you get parents going, when are you guys getting married? And you're like, oh shit, yeah, I guess I'm supposed to get married now. To me, that's crazy. And I got married in a stupid way the first time and learned from my mistake and said I'll never get married again. And then 3 years later, or 4, however many years, I was married again. But this time, it was like, no, yeah, this is absolutely the right thing to do.
Again, though,
Like even my first wedding, going to it, I was like, should you be doing this? Fuck it, we're here now. You know, we're doing this.
I've never been married before.
And
however,
a
I was
lot of
engaged,
guys-
And sometimes you just say yes.
A lot of guys get caught up in that shit, and now you know you're stuck there. And the honeymoon comes, and you bang her, and now she's pregnant, and you're like, holy shit, I didn't even really like this
just
chick.
Rolls. It starts to
Yeah,
roll.
I didn't even really like this chick. Now I'm married to her, and we have a fucking kid.
Well, then that's the thing, though. Like when we were hanging out, like when we spent time with each other, it was about quality time. We weren't in the club, we weren't in the bar, we would literally, because at the time my dad had passed, so I went back to my mom's to help her with some stuff, and he was going through a divorce, so we would immediately just get a hotel room for the entire night, watch movies, lay in bed, eat munchies. We'd go to the store, get a whole bunch of... But we were alone, and we would be cuddling and laughing and joking.
Yeah.
And I have to tell you, I have some of the greatest fucking times laughing with him.
Yeah.
He is definitely my best friend when it comes to, like... But that's why we got married. Like, again,
Yeah.
like everybody always goes, I got married because either I'm getting too old or should be the one or my parents want me to. I legit was 35 years old when I got married. I waited until the very last moment where him and I both looked at each other and said, we can do this forever.
Yeah.
You know, we're together, obviously, 7 days a week, you know, fucking Monday through Sunday. And then every day my husband still comes home for lunch. for an hour. He takes a nap. I make him his lunch. He goes back to work. That's every single day. Like, we have that type of relationship where it's like I don't get sick of him because I fucking love this guy.
Yeah.
You know, people miss that. When they get married, it's a lot of different things.
There's like all these underlined reasons why they did it.
Yes.
And all these things that you're supposed to do.
And then they forget, like, hi, you are married, but you're not in jail. So if you're not happy, the longer you wait to say something, the worse it gets and the more it snowballs and the more angry you get. Instead of sitting
I
down.
have so many guys at my job, older guys, that are like, they always got an excuse as to why they didn't get a divorce. Money or the kids or whatever the
Right.
case may be. There was always this thing, well, that's why I never got divorced. But, you know, but with that intent behind it of I wanted to and I still want to, you know what I mean? But this reason is why I didn't. And I always looked at that. And that was my main motivation of like, not going to be fucking me.
Absolutely.
Not going to be fucking me. Like when it came down to it, you know, you were a huge motivator. Don't get me wrong. But, you know, you start getting your kids stuck in the back of your head and all these things. And you're like, fuck. And, you know, it fucks with you. And then I would go to work and see guys like that. And I would go, no fucking way.
You can't live like that.
No
you can't live
fucking
unhappy.
way.
However, though, what's the difference, Rocky? When something bothers you and something bothers me or we don't like something and it's been 7 years, we don't just go, fuck it. We'll either sit down and talk with each other. We explain how we both feel. Sometimes it's even an argument. We're not fucking perfect.
Yeah, sometimes we blow up big time.
And you know what? That's all right.
But then
Because
after the blow up,
we
yeah.
sit down and go, you know what? This isn't this. And I will add this right now. He never curses at me. Ever. Thank you, sweetheart. He never curses at me. He never has called me
I've
a name.
slipped up maybe a handful of times, but
No,
you know.
you've slipped up like fuck this or fuck you
Yeah.
in a minute.
Fuck you. I never, you're a cunt, you're an asshole, you're a bitch.
No, never,
Yeah.
never.
If anything, it's fuck you.
And I think
that's
a
about the
few
extent
times
of it.
I called you a fucking jerk off.
Or
you
an
flipped out,
asshole.
or an asshole.
Yeah.
You know, and we get into these moments, but you're talking again about we don't get to the point where it's dangerous. We go an hour not talking, and then it's like, all right, you done? Let's move on. Movie time.
And because this is my best friend, I don't want to not be talking to my best friend.
Right, it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's awkward. Who the
Like,
fuck wants to live
like
like
I've
that?
totally accepted that if I lose everybody in my life friend-wise, I still have her. That it's like I still have her, so it doesn't matter really. But most people just don't live that way.
They don't.
Like they just don't. Most people hate their wives, hate
Or
their husbands.
Yeah.
And to me, that is and those are the first people to tell you how to live your life, by the way.
Absolutely.
What you should be doing.
Right.
You know what you should be doing.
Right.
Really? Really?
Or like you have those couples who have had real dysfunction you know about, and then they tell you how you should
Yeah.
parent.
Like you've literally thrown away your whole life with
Yes.
someone you don't even like, and you're going to start giving me advice.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, yeah, and that's the best too. Again, also pointing the fingers. You know, one kid of ours wants to be an officer, one kid wants to be a teacher, one kid wants to be a doctor. All amazing kids we have, and then I'll have someone from dysfunction say, you know, you really shouldn't let your daughter get tattoos.
Yeah,
I
those
laugh-
tattoos are...
They're gonna really bring down her life. I love those moments. But you know, back to what we were saying. You know, again, people lose that drive to be themselves, and they never start as themselves. They start as someone
because they don't
else.
like the person they're with, so they're like, I don't even like this bitch. I can get fat. I can get gross. I don't
They
care.
let themselves get
I don't give a
loose.
shit.
They
Look
think
at
they're
her.
not gonna they're not going nowhere. They're gonna
Yeah.
stay here. Where they're gonna go at 38, 40 years old.
And most of the time,
Absolutely.
they're right.
Yes, and they are right. And then they come at 70s or 60s where they're like fucking miserable. You know, it's just not the life for anyone. I feel like right now we got completely off subject of what society looks for, but it's important.
But that's how these shows work. That's how Super Ugly Show brand works.
Yeah.
Our shows are never outlined to a T where we go, we have to stay on course. No, if something
No, I love
interesting
that.
veers off the road, that's where you should go.
No, I
Those are
love
the best
that.
conversations
It's
because
super important.
you can plan shit all day long. But
Right.
when you have something organically, just go, burp.
Yeah, well, we don't have any scripts ever. Like I pick up some things I want
No.
to talk about, but most of our stuff,
I can literally show you my list. It's just a sentence of something. Sometimes I'll write like a little paragraph.
Yeah, we have like notes
I don't
and
know
stuff.
if you can see it.
Nah,
Either way.
it's right. We
But
have notes and stuff, but this is real life.
There's
This is how
no
it is.
info. I
Yeah.
literally was like right here. I wrote the sex cult not getting enough press. Now the reason why I wrote that is because me and my brother-in-law were talking about it last night, and I thought this could be a topic we could bring up. But then after talking to him a little bit about it, there's really nothing to bring up.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you don't want to talk about it.
Well, he posted this thing where he's like, the media isn't talking about this.
Right.
So I write, well, they did. It's been reported on. I don't think we need to keep reporting on it
Right.
because his meme or whatever it was like, why aren't they still talking about it type thing?
Right.
And I'm like, you say that, but then, when there's a high school shooter, everyone's like, don't glorify him, don't put him on the papers, don't, make this guy into a, Joker
and now
type
you're
villain.
talking about child molesters.
Yeah. So I'm like, in the same vein of that situation, why do we want to put these people all over the news and make them into these now famous people for shitty things?
Well, most of them are already famous, and they're just
No,
walking
and that
around
was the
getting
thing. And that's when I
attention.
asked him, I go, well, what celebrities and people? He writes, well, none. And then proceeds to tell me how I can pick up my phone and read about it and yada, yada, yada.
I love my brother.
And in turn, I go, yeah, no, for one, reading's for nerds, jokingly. But for two, this doesn't affect my life, and there's nothing I can do about it.
Right, and I'm big
So-
on that. Don't focus on things that do not affect your life.
why am I
directly.
like he'll continue to read about this stuff, and I'm like, why though? I said to him, I go, unless you're Batman, and I suspect you might be.
Yes.
There's literally nothing you can do about this. So why even enter it into your world?
That's a lot of people's issues is they take on everybody else's problems and they bring them into their home, and then that energy drags down their family and everything around their life. You're right. If it's not you, why does it matter? That's also again
And-
with the society.
Yeah.
If that's not you, why does it matter?
His response, and I know a lot of people's responses will be, well, there's children involved. I understand that, and I sympathize with that. But again, are you going to go to wherever this is happening and now
shut it
become
down?
a lawyer or a
John Wick.
prosecutor, or John Wick,
taking
or
them all out.
you're not going to take action against these people. So why are you even bothering to read about it or enter this shit into your life,
Right.
other than to get mad about it and bitch about
Have
it and
something
moan
to talk
about it and
right, yeah. I guess everybody does need something to complain about. That's what the fuck they
But
do.
like, if you want something to talk about a movie, talk about a fucking concert you went to, talk about your kid learning to ride a bike, talk about a fucking
Law of attraction.
an album you like,
Sure.
or anything. Why does it
Anything
have to be
positive.
child rape?
No, obviously nobody wants to think
know,
about
like-
child rape. None of us want to think about that. However, I get his point where it is something that we're dealing with in the world. We are dealing with
But we're
kid
not
trafficking.
dealing with it. It happens,
it's
but we're not.
happening
I'm not
around
dealing with
us.
it.
No, we're not. If it was directly affecting us, it'd be a different story. But there are people out there that sympathize and empathize with others that are dealing with things in their life. I am like that with with children and people as well.
Again, I have empathy and sympathy for these kids. It's just there's nothing I can do to stop this. It's going to happen whether I read this article or not.
Right, and there are going to be people in power that can do whatever they want or not, and I agree with you. However, I do feel like it is something that should be discussed to open people's eyes on this is what is going on.
People know it's happening. They don't want to keep talking about it because, again, there's nothing you can do about it. And why talk about these awful
all right,
things?
I love that you just said that. I would love to know how come society can't do that with gays, blacks, transgenders, or fucking...
Can't do what?
Why can't they just go, hey, it's not in my life. Why do I care?
That's a very good question.
Right? And that's how most people
If you
should
don't
think.
like something in general,
Why can't we all just go?
Just
"This is
remove
what
it
you
from your
believe,
life."
This is what I believe. Right.
Yeah.
This is me. This is you. No, but some people don't like how I live, and maybe I don't like how they live. But what's the difference? We're not going to change each
and
other
that,
anyway.
that goes with everything in life pretty much, because it's the same thing with when I was talking about on the show before this with Louis. If you don't like him,
Don't watch him.
yeah, you don't buy a ticket to a show.
Right.
I
I
mean,
fucking love him, might I add.
yeah. But, and then people are like, well, sometimes he just shows up. Well, then go to the bathroom or go to the bar for a minute.
Well, exactly. But at the same time, like, who the fuck are you to tell that everybody else don't want to hear him? He's hysterical.
And,
it's a joke.
And that's the other thing. For every one person that stands up, you have 40 people sitting down waiting to laugh.
He's fucking, they are funny. These comedians are funny. I know that they say things about women and this and that. I don't give a shit. They're not telling me, Jessica, you are a piece of shit. They're making a joke, you fucking sensitive Sally.
And that's what literally everything. So,
It's a
like,
fucking joke.
but your brother reads his stuff and then he'll post about it and then debate about it. And I'm like, why though? Like, clearly you don't like that this is happening.
Some people like argumentative moments.
Yes,
you
I
know?
understand. And I'd like to be argumentative too. But on politics and shit like that shit is scare tactics.
Right.
That's all that shit is. Government, left, right, the sex cult, all this shit is scare tactics to scare people and go, this is going on in the world. This is important. I need to just talk about this and let people. And it's like,
It's mind control.
you don't, though.
This is what you think about. This is what you talk about. This is what you're seeing.
And it's political,
It is,
mostly.
yeah,
Most of it is
course
political to go, well, this side, look how bad they are. They do this.
The last time I watched the
Because
news,
that sex cult thing was a Democratic
Was a
and
big-
Hollywood and
Yeah.
type thing. But in reality, there was one D-list celebrity I never heard of on a show I never watched. And she was literally the only celebrity that came out of this whole thing.
well, I don't know everybody who came out of it, but I will say that, everybody's always trying to scare you to believe what they want you to believe. And that's what the half of the world is. Well, you know what? If you don't believe in God, then you're going to die. Well, if you're not Muslim, you're going to die. All these people have these. This is my thing, okay? I love the differences in human beings and everybody around the world. That's what makes us human beings. I don't mind if anybody wants to do anything they want to do in their bed, in their home, out front of their home, in the backyard of their home, what they want to do it with, whatever color they are, whatever fucking religion they are. That is your business. Of course, hurting people, children, animals is not the right thing to do. But I don't give a shit what's going on in Joe Brown's fucking bed.
No.
And I don't care if Tanya's dancing on a pole or if this one's jumping out over here. This is what they're choosing to do with their lives. Why the fuck do I have a say? And why do I want them to believe what I believe? This is me. My beliefs, my shit. I do this with my children. That's you. Your beliefs, your feelings, your heart, your wants, your dreams. These are yours. You feel them.
Because just like how people want to change the sex trafficking thing, they want to change the world. But they want to change the world to what they envision
what they feel. It's
what they
fucking
want it to
disgusting.
be. And when they can't or when they don't, they start pissing and moaning like children. And here, to kind of get more into the scare tactics thing, and this is what makes me laugh about the left and the right, hashtag I hate both sides.
Hashtag.
You got the left or the right both telling each other how stupid they are, right?
Right.
You're stupid for believing this, and you're stupid for believing this. And the problem is, you're both stupid. And here's why. Because you both bought into whatever bullshit left or right is selling you.
Yes.
That's all it is.
And everybody who's going this way and this way, they're in the fucking
they're
thing
both
too.
they're both doing the same thing,
Yeah.
and they're both arguing the same way. They just have different examples for their argument.
Right.
And you like this example better than that example.
Absolutely.
And you sit there and then judge them and go, "Wow, they're so stupid for believing that." And I sit in the middle and go, "Wow, you're both so stupid because you're both marks.
Right.
You're marks on the midway.
Right.
You've been sold magic beans."
I just like to look at everybody who's dealing with money issues and house issues and kid issues and life issues and fucking all the issues that we're all dealing with here in the United States, right? As Americans, it's what we deal with. Why wouldn't we say, let's band together and create the fucking ultimate goddamn United States?
But that's what the government. That's what the government doesn't want. Because,
Right.
But they forget.
Power of the people. Let us fucking
Yes.
take over, and
that's
they're
why,
all coming
but
down.
That's why they divide us.
That's right.
And that's the thing that the left and right, for some reason, doesn't seem to understand.
Right.
That
We are
the
fucking
you're not
toys.
you're fighting for them when they're dividing you.
Right.
And you're sitting there backing them up while the behind closed doors, Democrat and Republicans are going, these fucking idiots.
And
Well, you
nonetheless-
think they're not in the same room together? They're not in the same conferences? They're always together.
And nonetheless, right, they're all sitting here going, look at all of them. They're so controlled.
Yep.
We can control them with media. We can control them with money. We can control them with... everything is control. And for me, I go, look, of course, I would never want people to have abortions at 9 months. Of course, I would never want people in other countries to be abused, enslaved, and fucking hurt. Of course, I would never want children to starve or be... these are things, of course, we want to happen. They're telling us what we're supposed to be believing. And then they have us fighting with each other, and we don't even know each other.
And that's the other thing is that you just decide, well, I'm going to believe this part of it. I'm not going to believe that part. And I'm definitely not believing anything they say over there. That's the craziest thing. And people seem to forget. This country was founded on a war, a revolutionary war, where the people of America, or at the time, England, pretty much, because they ruled us, we decided, nah, fuck that.
We've had enough.
We've had enough. We're taking over. We're going to go to war with you, and we're going to take you out. The problem is, back then, that was a viable option. Today, the people can't just decide we're taking over the government. Everybody, they can't be a revolution. You know why? The government has that little thing called the military.
I was just going to say that the army, the military.
And I would love to know how this revolution plans on stopping the United States military when places like Russia can't, or, you know.
And no, again, though, not that we want to actually battle it out with our government, but at the same time,
and what's
none
funny,
of them are living in our house, in our pot.
And what's funny, too, is that you have half these people trying to take away that right to be able to fight them back.
Yep.
They get rid of the guns.
Yes.
You dummies.
Yes.
God forbid they ever do turn on us. At least we have some form of defense. And you want to give that away, and they're laughing at you going, we're stocked to the gills over here.
Yep.
Good. You want your guns taken away? We can do that.
Truth of the matter is this, okay? No matter where you live, and this is an honest statement, okay? No matter where you live in any country, anywhere of this world, you are a fucking person. And there's not one person in your government, no matter where you live, that's going, I would like to know what Jessica is doing and if she's all right. They don't fucking care. You know why? Because they eat. They live very fucking nice. The money's unlimited. The power's unlimited. And all of us are down here going, you don't like my color? Well, I don't like your color. You don't like my shoes? I don't like your shoes. Who the fuck cares about shoes? Because all of us are paying for all of fucking them. Yeah. As they're sitting around vacationing and living and loving, and we're struggling and striving and paying taxes for a house that we maintain, that we bought already. I got to pay taxes every fucking year.
And if you want to build something on that house, on the property you pay for.
We need to ask you first.
Yeah, we need to come to you first and get it approved, because mommy and daddy won't let us do it unless you tell us it's okay.
That's what it is. And you will learn this in school. You're only going to learn this in school. This is the fucking curriculum. You will do this. You will graduate, you will get a job, and you will pay us money to be on top of you. And I'm not saying, again, that we don't need a government. We do need control. We do need some type of form. However, instead of worrying about blue and red, worry about your fucking life, your children, the people around you. Who cares what color? Ask them if they're fucking hungry. Like, you're talking about people, not, again, a specific group. Everybody, we are fucking alive. We are all trying to live and take care of our families and ourselves. And instead of hating, why aren't we going, hey, you all right down there? Here's $5. Let me help you out. Hey, you all right over there? You want a phone call? Let me just be there for you. What, you don't like this? Well, let me educate you.
Because America is the country of kick you while you're down. Louis C.K. being a perfect example.
It's fucking stupid.
Kick you while you're down, and I'm going to make sure you stay down because I don't agree with what you do or say.
It's the truth. And we get into these fucking situations where we want to be heard. We want to have a say. We want to be real, but yet you can't be real.
No,
don't you say anything.
All that is a facade. Most people are so full of shit, and most people are living their own movie. They're living their life the way they think life is supposed to be lived, the way they were either taught or they saw on TV or whatever the case may be. That's how they live their life in this fantasy realm of, you know, maybe a character they've glommed onto and now decided this is the life choice I'm going to make, and I'm going to be more like that person.
Instead of being them fucking selves.
Yeah.
Be yourself.
Or what my mom thinks I should be, or what society thinks I should be.
Yes.
And that's just most people live that way. They just do.
They don't realize, though, that, you know, once you give somebody a little bit of power, they always want more. So, you know, this is what we have going on. And we have everybody putting each other in their own corners. You stay over there with your pickets. I'll stay over here with my pickets. You stay over there with your pickets. Instead of being like, you know what? Why the fuck are we all being pushed around like mice? We're mice, okay? Told what we can eat, how we eat it, what's FDA approved.
Yeah, but even again, like I just said, even if you wanted to do something about it, even if America as a people decided we're going to stand up and do something about it, there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing. There is nothing.
So, like, again, why even get mad over any of it and then sit there and be like, fuck the government, fuck this? As most Americans, I consider myself like most Americans, the government has no effect on my life other than my taxes. And guess what? No matter where you live, you're going to pay taxes. That's just a part of life at this point. Unless you want to go live in some fucked up third world country, okay? But if you live in a normal civilization, you pay taxes. That's part of life. Other than the taxes thing, and it never drastically changes where I'm like, oh, fuck. Other than that, they don't exist to me. They have no impact, no influence, no nothing on my life.
And
zero.
And now we're gonna float into another subject. And I know where we are right now, but I don't care. I'm having a great time. So let's float into another subject really quick, people. And this is, again, what lives people think you're supposed to have. You know,
I need a beer.
All right, so you grab a beer, and you bring me one more salsa down because I might need it. This can go. Next, we planned on doing it this week, but next week we plan on doing a show. Yeah. Next week we plan on doing a show about bullying and long-term effects that happen and things that happen to people in their futures, how they turn out, what they go through. And again, we're going to have somebody on the show who was a bully throughout most of her life until things have happened and she's changed. Of course, it's going to be a great show and very impactful, so I hope everybody does tune in. However, I want to take a second to not only appreciate but also discuss what happened to a famous YouTuber who a lot of people not only looked up to, but they really enjoyed the videos he put out there. And I'm going to say this with as much as I can. I really can't pronounce it so well, but it's Desmond Amofa, right? They would call him
Etika.
Etika.
I don't know who this guy is.
Etika. I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. I mean no disrespect, okay? So this poor young man was a YouTuber. He would do pranks. He would do crazy shit. He would do funny things, but mostly gaming things. He'd watch videos and talk about the videos.
And mostly Nintendo specifically.
Yeah, he would watch videos and then like react to them, and people would watch. And then little by little, you know, he started to be erratic, and he started to do videos where he was harassing cops in the city, and he was being disrespectful, or he was just being loud and wild. And he hit a point where he was doing great, making money. You know, actually 800 plus subscribers to his YouTube.
800,000.
800,000 plus. I meant to say. You know, he was doing very well. However, he ended up taking his own life this past week, and he did it in such a way where he recorded himself walking around the city before he had committed suicide, apologizing to anybody who watched his videos and to people who were affected by things that he had done, because he felt that his sins were so bad he could not continue on living. And so he made this video, he put it out there, and he did take his own life. God help him, please.
You know what?
Wait, just let me finish.
Go ahead.
He packed up all of his Nintendo, it was his Switch, his computer, his phone, all of his social media things in a backpack. You know, he explained how there are people online that do and say things that don't realize how they affect other people in their lives, and he felt that things that he had done had affected people so bad, he had done things that he needed to take his life because he didn't deserve to be here, and that this was his repercussion. And let me just explain. There is a big, humongous, wide world out there for a lot of people who don't understand that there is other things better to come, more to look forward to, but there is. And, you know, spreading out to the rest of the people that if you have any issues or feel, you know, you can't talk to who is around you, there are phone numbers and other things that you can do to help yourself. I'm going to just put this out there really quick. It's the National Suicide Prevention. It's 1-800-273-8255. And that's for anybody who may feel they want to talk or they know somebody who needs to talk. Please lend a hand, because this poor soul, actually, we do have an effect on people. We do. We do say things that might hurt. We do say things that might make people think. And we do have to remember that on social media and on the internet, people are watching. And even if I'm not famous, and I'm not, you know, even if I'm not, people do watch. There are those people, and you don't realize how you affect others' lives. You don't realize what you're doing. So if you just keep to being yourself and not trying to be what everybody thinks. And he says that, you know, I was trying to be everything everybody wanted, and then they enjoyed me, and I changed, and then I got to my head, and then I thought I was something I wasn't. And you have to realize that on the internet is not real life. This is not real life. This is a fucking podcast. That is a goddamn game. That is, you know, you are not dealing with real shit on the. It's all what you want it to be. They show you what they want you to see, and now we lost a life over it. And I'm very sad for his family and anybody involved. I send my condolences for sure, 100%. And, I wanted to just throw that out there really quick because it was a very sad article to read.
You know, you like to sympathize with these situations because, people lost a loved one. I didn't know this kid put out some kind of fucking swan song, pretty much. And I look at that and go, that's just a weak kid. No, don't. Hear me out. Hear me out. For one, the swan song, he not only put his death on the people who may or may not have said something shitty to him on the internet, but that's life in general. Like, I'm looking at statistics here, and, suicide rates in places like, here we go, Central African Republic, Myanmar, Turkey, which I'm sure aren't great places to live, are super low. Super low. There's other options than killing yourself. And I feel like a lot of suicide is done to be a martyr or is done to be like, I'll show you. I'll show you. When I'm gone, you're going to be sorry. Instead of, what am I doing to the people around me?
Right, but it's never something you live with. Now it's something that everybody else lives with.
I can't wrap my head around the suicide thing, for one, because it's not an option. And think of the kids in those detention centers right now, right? Mm-hmm. Do you think suicide is even a thought?
Detention centers like kids that have problems?
The ones down at the Mexico border that everyone's bitching about.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you think it's even a thought in the majority of those kids? Maybe there's a handful of them that maybe are like, I'll kill myself.
Yes.
Their living conditions and their lives were a million times worse than you. You're a YouTube star. How bad do you really have it?
It's not that he had it bad. Again, he wasn't saying I have it bad. He was saying that I did things to get where I am that I'm not proud of, and I made a lot of mistakes, and I'm sorry.
All right, so you own up to that shit and you live with it.
Right, absolutely. I'm not saying that him doing that was the right thing to do.
But suicide in this country has become like almost fashionable in a way. And I look at it and go, it's a weak-minded person. It is. You're a weak-minded person because there's never a second, no matter whether I'm married, I had kids or not, there was never a second when things were at their worst where I go, I should kill myself.
I know that. But again, now we're going to mental health, okay?
Yes, and if you're mentally unstable, I get that.
Yes, that's another thing. What he was saying is, when you're in the public eye and when you have all these things going on, it messes with your head. And he said it. He actually went to a mental hospital, I think it was a week or two before he had killed himself. He had issues, and he was delusionally living in the world he thought he created online. And he said it. He was like, I lost fucking reality of what's going on. I have pushed away people who are real in my life for whatever this life I created in my brain was. And he definitely was somebody who had issues. That's why I'm saying, there's some people who can't say how they feel, or they don't feel like they have anywhere to turn. There is always somewhere to turn. Like, don't take your life.
That's never an option, though. Like, if it's even in your head, that's not a fucking option, dude.
One life.
Yeah, but why throw it away? Fucking man up and change shit in your life. Like, if something is bothering you in your life, take it out of it. If you can't, then either make the best of it, or in your head go, eventually this will stop and I can make my own life. If you're a kid or, you're living at home and something's fucked up there, you go, well, I can get out of here soon.
Right.
And that sucks to say. And, I don't want anyone to have to live like that. But guess what? A lot of people don't kill themselves
a lot of people do.
And make their lives better because of it.
Right.
Why can't you do that? Why do you take it and then go, all of the negative I'm going to take from this and I'm going to hold on to it? And I'm just going to harp on that and nothing else. I'm not going to look for an outlook. I'm not going to look to the future. I'm just going to say all of this horrible shit that's happening right now will happen forever, so I may as well kill myself.
Right, because they're in a mental state where they feel that this is what they have. This is what they deserve. And he was saying that in the video. I was watching it, and in my heart was breaking because he genuinely thought that what he had done had had put him in a position that he didn't deserve to live. And some people mentally get there. And I have dealt with suicide in my family, which was very, very fucking hard to deal with growing up. And you think about it and go, there could have been many options besides taking yourself away from me, and you did, and that will stick with someone forever.
And that's the biggest part I look at it.
That's the problem.
And that's the biggest, most selfish fucking thing possible. Because a lot of the times, friends or family or parents would be like, I had no idea.
Right.
I had
didn't even know
no
anything
idea.
was going on.
And why? Because you couldn't open your fucking mouth.
Just say it. Just say it.
So,
if you don't like it, say
so
it.
then you decide, I'm going to remove myself from life and tear my mother's heart out, my father's, my aunts, my grandparents, my friends, my
sisters,
cousins,
my brothers,
everybody, just
everybody.
because I couldn't open my fucking mouth. I was embarrassed to open my mouth to anybody.
Fuck
to anybody.
That. Forget that. I want to hear it. I tell my children all the time, I don't care if I'm going to be upset. Just tell me, because I'll be the one person to lecture you and then hug you. Like, let me help you. Be honest with me. Tell me what it is, because no one else out there in the world would be as honest as your parents. That's the truth. And if you don't have parents, I'm so sorry for you. And
Like, look at homeless people, for example. Homeless people.
Who are still trying to live.
Yes, but they have the worst life you could possibly have in America, right?
Yes.
Okay, you don't have a home. You sleep in your own filth and shit.
Can't eat when you want to eat.
They're not offing themselves all the time. There's not this gigantic suicide rate. So take your life and go, is it worse than that? And
Yes.
that guy manages to wake up every day somehow.
Yes, and walk around and still try to live.
And not all of them are crazy people.
No.
Not all of them are fucking bad people. Some of them just fucked up in life and
I
ended
know
up
they
there.
lost their house, or absolutely, it
and,
happens.
And they're still waking up every morning going, it's better than being dead.
It's better than being dead.
Better than being dead.
And now for the rest of this family's life, they will feel this pain. And I'm sending love, and I'm sending nothing but prayers for him and his journey and the rest of the family. It's something very sad and real that people live with. I was pushed around as a kid, and it just made me a tougher and stronger person. Some people take that and drag it the rest of their life. Like, I was picked on for this long, and it's like, guess what? You're not that person anymore. You are an adult. Live the life. Be the life that you fucking deserve to have.
And I don't know if this was his intention, but judging YouTube from the YouTube I've been around, and that video was made in his head going, my legacy will live on forever. People will remember this forever.
He actually said it in his video.
Like
I know
that type
people
of
will
thing.
forget me. No, he said it.
Oh,
I
he
know
did?
people will forget me.
Even that, I
know
feel
that
like
I'm
a
just
calculated
anything.
thing. And
Either way, it still is a moment of him actually being vulnerable.
how long was his video?
7 minutes long. He was walking to the city, going to where he was going. It's very fucking sad. It's very sad.
It is
You look
sad
at
that
the
someone
pain
lost
in
their
his
life. I'm not
eyes,
saying that,
and you
know,
look at the
but
pain in his eyes as he's speaking, and he's just like, I'm sorry for what I've done, and now this is my path because of what I've done. He actually thought that words created this life, and I feel very sad for his soul. That's very sad, and he's missing out on the rest of his life.
well, he's technically going to hell, depending on which fake God you believe
He's
in.
missing out on the rest of his life because of social media, because of people around that he thinks made an impact.
But
And
there's people on here that can't separate it.
that's right. That's what I'm saying.
There's
They
people
can't.
on here
They can't
that
separate
think
it.
this is the real world now.
And people could call me a bitch, an asshole, whatever they want.
Yeah.
Nothing you say about me on this internet will ever affect me in the least. I don't think about it. I don't worry
let's be
about
honest.
it.
Let's be 100%. When you first read it or hear about it, you go, that kind of sucks. Someone
Of
said that
course
about
it
me.
bothers
But
you.
then about 5 minutes, not even 50 seconds to,
Yes, because you don't want
pass,
people to think bad
yeah,
things. Of course.
passes and you go,
Right.
whatever.
Right. Next. I still have my house
But-
and my yeah. Of
But
course.
there's a lot of people on here that take that and go, you said what about me? That's it. I'm gonna I'm gonna end your life. I can't believe.
That is what they do.
And then they just continue this cycle of
Hate.
of weirdness. And because the internet is such a hateful place, because it's so easy to be a scumbag behind fake names or whatever
but
the
at
case
the
may
same
be,
time, though,
or
think
even if
about-
you have your real name out there, people still have the bravado to be real pieces of shit.
But at the end of the day, like, you do realize that to everybody who's normal, like me, myself, my husband, we have real lives, real families, real things to do, real businesses. to us, we look and go, what a weirdo loser. To you, you think that you're cool, but you're actually only affecting your own life, and you'll stay in your own negative fucking hole because that's who you are.
But even the YouTube stars, like a lot of them, you see a lot of these people, they all end up that way where they think this is what life is. And a lot of them are fucked up or, this kid just killed himself.
The truth of the matter is, okay, you are who you are. So you can put on a mask, you can fucking hide behind a computer, you can talk shit about somebody you don't know, you can bully people in school, you can do whatever you think. After high school, you don't fucking matter anymore. You never did. And then after that, you're like, what else am I going to do? Might as well pick on someone because I hate my life.
Even in high school, you don't matter. High school for a lot of people is the most important time of their life to them at the time.
Yeah, I'm cool.
At the time, it's a popularity thing. Do I have the right clothes and all that stuff that goes along with high school? And the second you leave it, literally, you get your diploma and you walk off the property, none of it matters.
Let me tell you, I'm going to say this because this is actually a turning point in my life that I had, and I think about it often, and I laugh to myself like, oh my God, if it was me now, what a different fucking story.
Yeah.
But there was a moment I was in, I think 8th grade, and there was a 10th grader who wanted to pick on me, and here I am standing in front of the school, all my supposed friends, and this 10th grader, who is way bigger than me, had come over to me and she was yelling at me like, you're not tough and you're not cool. And I'm looking at this girl going like, I don't know why you're yelling at me. I didn't do anything. I didn't say anything about you. Why are you yelling at me? So what she had done was she had taken her hand and kind of mushed my face like this. Mushed my face. You ain't shit. You ain't tough. You're nothing. And I literally walked away from her and went, I didn't do anything to you. I'm not fighting you. Walked in the school. Now, kids might have said, oh, she was scared. She was pussy. Or, oh, she didn't want to fight. No, but you know what the point is? I didn't have time to fight with you in front of a school because you thought that you were cooler or you thought that's what it was. And so for me, I look back and go, that moment, now I would love for anybody to come mush my face. At that moment in that time, you didn't even deserve for me to fight with you. If you knew where I came from or that I was actually a trained fighter, you probably wouldn't have pushed my face, but I had that much control to not even give you the time of day. Because you don't matter to me. You didn't then and you don't now. And that's how people should look at everything going on in their life.
No, but
who's in your life is what matters. Everybody else around does not
what everyone
matter.
else thinks is the majority of people. What does everyone else think about me? Not, what do my parents think? What does my wife think? What do my brothers or aunts or uncles think? The people that actually matter that are, literally in your life forever because they're family.
Right.
You worry about what, the 200 people watching you on YouTube think about you or, how you want to come across to them and this image that you want to show them of who you are, and it's all a facade.
It's really you just proving to yourself or what you would love to be.
Yeah.
Or what you're telling people you are. It's like, this is what I am, this is what I do, look at me. And it's like, nobody cares what you're doing over there in fucking Indiana.
Yeah.
Nobody cares in Idaho what's fucking going on. I have one more I want to get to, and then we're going to close it because we are way above the time. But this one blew my fucking mind. And our really good friend, Josh, I hope he can tune in on this one, okay? Because this was like, I lost my mind when I saw this. Okay. Hold on a second. Copy. I'm going to pull up the article. So this guy gets pulled over, okay? And he gets pulled over for driving while intoxicated because he's driving all over the fucking place because why wouldn't you drive all over the place?
He's driving erratically.
Yeah. Why not? Let me just delete this here. Why wouldn't you drive like that?
Well,
because he's a fucking psycho.
You shouldn't, and there's laws.
All right. So here we are. Police arrest suspected drunk driver when they pull him over in Tennessee. There was a human torso in the passenger seat floor of the car. Now, they found this, and they say that he actually hit and run someone, found the only body part left threw it in his car because he was afraid the person would be identified and kept driving with the torso. It's Knoxville, Tennessee.
The torso's literally the part they can't identify. They can identify every other part of the body other than the torso.
It's in his fucking car. The cop is like, now, first of all, you're drunk. He was drunk. Now this is a body part. Wait a minute. So now he's getting convicted of murder, All right, let's put it here. He's being charged with
Vehicular manslaughter, homicide. Okay.
And evading arrest and driving under the influence and driving while his license has been revoked.
Well, that's the biggie. I mean, he's really going down for that revoked license. I mean,
gotta be.
I love how they tack on those shitty little just let that one go.
Like
let that one go.
In his car.
Yeah.
He had all these other issues going on.
Yeah. The suspended license, even the DWI. Let it go. He's got a fucking body in his car. I think that's going to give him enough time that he's never getting out of jail. I think we're done here. You know, they're going to be like guilty of murder, and he drove without his license.
And revoked license. And you're drinking, you motherfucker. No, for sure though. I had to throw this out there because I read stuff like this and I go, now this is a person that belongs behind bars. However, we have people behind bars that smoke marijuana.
Hold on. This person may not belong behind bars because he was drunk. He did a stupid thing while drunk.
Right.
He may not be a bad person. You know what I mean? Like, you can't just say he's a bad person when you do something drunk.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say anybody who gets behind the wheel that drunk to do something like that is not a good person because
he
of
didn't
everybody
intentionally
else. Everybody
kill
else
this
on the
person.
Road, everybody else on the road, you're that drunk. Will you hit someone and put their body part in
You
your car?
might.
You shouldn't be driving.
You might. I've driven a little tipsy back in my day.
Body part tipsy?
I never hit anybody, but, you know.
Get the fuck out of here. I'm going to tell you right now. I ever hear you do something like that?
No, this is,
kidding.
back in my early 20s when I was
kidding.
stupid and invincible.
I'm joking.
But,
Obviously.
and a lot of friends I know have, and we never killed anybody. And all I'm saying is that shit happens sometimes when you're drunk. And I really doubt this guy woke up that morning and said, I'm going to get drunk, get in my car, and run someone over.
No, it was not premeditated, for sure.
You know what I mean? Like, so to now judge this person, though, as a bad person, he might just be a guy who just made a bad mistake.
Maybe.
And it's a life-ruining mistake, absolutely. You fucked up big time. That's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. But he could be one of these guys now in prison that's, like, fuck, I really don't belong here, and I'm fucked.
Mate, yours is bothering me.
So.
I totally agree. I guess so. I agree. Well, I want to throw that story out there. Really quick, everybody, before I close out, my ears just started hurting. I want to throw my plugs, most importantly. I want to throw out, don't forget, Super Ugly Show. Go subscribe now, YouTube. This is the channel. Go to Opie Radio. If you're not listening to Opie, then you have nothing else going on in your life. La Cubana, in the city, Carl Ruiz, go see him. Food to die for. And he's got dancing skills that you ain't never going to be able to touch.
Downtown Manhattan, tell him Super Ugly sent you.
That's right. And let's not forget Sweet Temptations by Nikki for all your baking needs in Long Island. We have strengthandsparkle.com for all my makeup if you guys like it. I don't know if you can actually see it, but it's the makeup that I use. Her name is Christine. She's amazing.
Toys R Us might come back.
Toys R Us might come back. They're coming back from the dead, actually, is what
I
they
know.
said.
It was in the title. I just wanted we talked about it.
Coming out from the dead, they said. Speaking of dead, if you guys are looking for any type of empath readings or psychic readings, I am working with somebody. Her name is Jenny D. I have her phone number. Hit me up on Twitter, jrabbit55 for that. Statementgames.com. Go check it out for your fantasy fucking game leagues, all that bullshit. You love it. We love it. The Vince Russo. You got to go check out the brand. Vince Russo's brand, obviously. They carry Super Ugly Show. I'm not a part of it yet, but This Is Life is a supporter because I fucking love that man. And that's it. We fucking love you. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week. Bye.